Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. It's again Tuesday, a beautiful day here for me. Not too sunny, but it's perfect. I'm outdoors and I'm looking at the beautiful mountains. And it's inspiring me to talk about something that I have recently experienced. And I know it's very important in working with teams and relationships that we can have with others at our work or even at our home. So, do you know how you're taking things in and you want to put them in different compartments, right? You want to kind of get the information that you're absorbing daily, and you're putting your stuff. It helps you prioritize your tasks, but you're putting them in different categories that will help you pretty much create your priorities, and then you're going to allocate times and you're going to work on certain things, and you're thinking that you want to be at your best when you're making certain decisions. So it's very important to be at your best when you are faced to, especially to make a decision that will impact others. So how we're doing this, we kind of create some mental compartments. Mentally, we separate our task in certain areas, let's say buckets. And when we're working on one thing, we're kind of avoiding, intentionally we focus and we avoid thinking about other tasks. And if we're doing that, it's pretty much very helpful because we don't let our mind to wander in many places, and that is it's very important, and it takes practice. It also takes strong will to kind of say, I'm going to allocate my time to this and I'm not going to think about that. But I want to also discuss about some of the things that are happening while you're doing that, and if you're doing that too much or if you don't use that with caution, it can increase the stress. So constantly juggling, if you take and you juggle all those switching between those compartments, especially if they're related, different, not so close. So let's say we're working on things for work, it's going to be easier and maybe not that much of a stress to take one task on one problem, to solve one problem that's related to the same category of work. But when you jump from work to, let's say, personal relationships or any other health, if you take those and you want to jump from one to another, then the stress is even higher. So you want to think about when you make those mental strains and you keep things separate and putting in your mind the deadlines, then how that can actually take a toll on your overall being. So be aware of that, the emotional exhaustion that you're feeling when you want to you want to do certain things, and you say, "I'm here. I know I'm going to solve some problems, but I'm putting things on the back burner intentionally." And then also look at some of the missed opportunities that you may have, because when you are in over reliance and this compartmentalization may cause you to miss some opportunities for creativity and cross-pollination of ideas, if as you may be too rigid in that moment to approach for your information management. So think about that as well. Also, unresolved issues. This can sometimes, especially when they are in different areas, it will going to create problems. That's why it's very important to, if you have an issue that is bugging you, you want to solve it, you want to put it into a certain state, elevate the state of that issue to become as close as, if it's not solved, at least you're making progress to it. So it could help you go back and then don't let that urgency and that build up of emotion to kind of come up and get out of control. So when you are kind of looking at the other things that while you're doing this, and you can avoid those negative emotional consequences while you're very good at separating things from your work and home and other areas like that, even from work to work, right? One project versus another one. When you're serving many clients, if you have many clients and you need to take care of each, you want to put it on hold and show up as you need it for each individual separately. So it's very important to do. It's a very cool task to have. It's a very good use of your assets. And I think when I want to come up with this idea of identifying your assets and then make sure you're thinking about how can you best utilize each. Why is this important for your teams? And I think you'll recognize that there will be people in your team that are very good at doing this, and you want to explore that, and others that are going to just feel like coming in a work meeting, for example, and they're fill up with emotions, and they cannot really take it in. They cannot be there necessary for what is needed to be done because their mind is in a different place. So one way in which you could just make sure that everybody is there for you and optimize those times that we have in our meetings. I just came out from with a client that they complain, and I think this is across the board. The meetings are too long, they're not effective, and how can we make them more effective? And they got an idea of reducing the time from 90 minutes to 60, and they figured out that actually they can get their task done and everything that they had to do in almost almost cutting so much, a third of the time that they spent together. And now my challenge to them was, can you make it 45 minutes? What can you do to make it 45 minutes? And one of the things would be to reward your people in a way that, hey, you're going to get those 15 minutes back. You could do other things with it, even if it's going to be taking the time to look at your health, mental health, and how can you actually show up, and what else is there that bothers you, right? Because sometimes when our mind is going a lot in other places, it's going to put a strain on us, and we're not going to be coming with the best way to solve a problem. So think about how this can help you, and also think about all the productivity frameworks that exist there, and utilize some of them. The Eisenhower metrics, it's one of my favorites one. You could also do a Kanban, you can do time blocking, and you could do SMART goals, anything, the 2 minutes rule, that's take things that you want to get it done and do quickly what you have to do quickly. If it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it right away so it doesn't increase that list. But sometimes we have so much, we put so much on us that list keeps going and you feel like it's never going to end. So utilize some of those frameworks and see how can you just give yourself some time to reflect on where you are from the productivity point of view, and maybe reschedule a meeting. Maybe just say, I'm not going to do this today because I'm not at my best. So because it will take so much from me, I will just make sure I'm going to get that done or I'm going to prepare for it in advance, knowing that this meeting is coming up. So you get a point. You know what I mean. Now, I know we are all interested in how we're making use. So what I define by assets will be just people, processes, and technology, and then looking at yourself. What are your strengths? That's it. So when you look at your strengths and you can discover them and find them out, you can use them. And then you could just talk to others about it. So they will know what you have, what are you good at, and what are you best at. You could use the strength finder, or you could use the standout reports that I was telling you about before, or you could use other tools to discover and to make sure you're putting them in your top of your mind. You're advertising them pretty much on what you could be good at, and don't cross too much on the other sides where it's going to put a lot of stress on you, unless you really are tempted to discover other things. And it's good to stretch ourselves, but think about how much you want to be stressed, because it's the stretch is coming with the stress. And We grow, absolutely. We want to try new things, but at the same time, we want to make sure you're doing it in a way in which you're building up and you're not going to feel like that regress. And if it's a regress, it's temporary, that's fine. But if it's for too long, it's going to put another stress and it's going to impact other things in your emotional state and also in your capability to utilize your strengths that you have. So don't give up too much into that area. Okay, when you look at the processes, yep, you could just go around and just see what else you could just change. And this is a continuous improvement loop, pretty much. And then the technology, you could use ChatGPT. Everybody started to use this, right? So see how you could use it. And the way I could use it is just if I have access to someone who knows so much, and I'm expecting that person to be close by, I'm just asking questions that I can learn more. I know I have a shoulder that I can tap on, right? And I can just say, what do you know about this? And then put back, yes, but that is this. So what was the negative of this? What's the positive? So typing all this in your ChatGPT, you see how it comes back with some information that captures from everything else that it knows. So it's just a way for you to quickly learn about a book. You can just give me the main ideas from that book. You could give me the main ideas from an article or a framework. What is that used for? What is positive? What is negative? Don't forget to ask those questions, because you could see how it gives you what you're asking. But the better the questions you have, the better, and you prompt them, the better answers you're going to get. Okay, I will see you next Tuesday, and we're going to continue in exploration of your assets and how you can identify your strengths. Give me your questions in the comments and let me continue to reach out, and I will share with you what I have learned from working one-on-one, but also sharing what I see when certain practices are implemented at a team level, because they are powerful. When many people, 2 or 3 or 5, are coming together and they have this common goal and they want to do something together, it's so much more powerful than when you are by yourself. Experience that, because the high-performing teams have that. They have a coach who is not there just because they know more than the other people, is there just to help them and push them when they think they reached a certain goal, and when they feel like they're going to give up, it's there to tell them what else is there for them, because they could see the further you are from the picture, the better you're going to see the big picture, right? So think about that as well. Talk to you soon. Thank you.